So every year, my family does this thing called game night, which is basically an excuse for my mom to serve questionable dips and for my cousin Tim to show off his extensive knowledge of obscure board games nobody else understands. This year, though, my Uncle Dave waltzes in carrying a suspiciously heavy tote bag and a smirk that can only mean trouble. He announces, out of nowhere, that Monopoly will be played with actual coins, because it's time we made capitalism feel real. You'd think this would just be a quirky twist, but things escalated the moment Dave whipped out a bank teller's coin counter and started divvying up stacks of quarters like he was prepping for a heist. At first, it was sort of fun. The familiar clink of coins replaced the sad flutter of pastel Monopoly cash, and I'll admit, it made bankrupting my little sister feel a lot more official. But then Dave insisted on properly verifying every transaction, pulling out a counterfeit detector pen for every nickel and dime. He'd say things like, "The bank's integrity is at stake," while giving side-eye to my grandma, who got caught smuggling a Canadian quarter onto Boardwalk. The rest of us were just trying to keep up, while Dave kept muttering arcane banking terms and offering suspiciously generous loans at 19.99% interest. About an hour in, the game had ground to a halt because Dave had implemented mandatory audits every time someone passed go. My cousin Tim tried to buy Park Place, only to be handed a stack of forms labeled loan application and a pamphlet on responsible borrowing. At this point, my dad just started drinking straight from the ranch dressing bottle, and my mom quietly Googled how to disown a sibling. Meanwhile, Dave's skill became apparent. He seemed to know the value of every coin, could make change in his head in seconds, and kept a running ledger that would make a CPA weep with joy. It all finally made sense when I caught Dave humming the tune to Money, Money, Money and casually flashing his work badge. Turns out, he's been a bank teller for the past 6 months and treated our family Monopoly game as his own personal training montage. The night ended with Dave triumphantly declaring bankruptcy a calculated risk, and my grandma muttering, "Next year, we're playing Uno. At least you can't launder money with wild cards."